Yeah, I think I should really do the chivalrous thing here and speak to Tepeke while keeping her under my umbrella at least. Yeah, that's better. Try and be at least somewhat courteous to the young lady. She's been through so much. Let's go ahead and speak with Tepeke again to take on the level 94 Mage DPS quest entitled The Seeds of Popularity. Tepeke is eager to share new developments in the search for the Justicar.
Mathia, I hope you've been well. Since last we spoke, the Justicar has been busy felling fiends all across Thavnir, leaving a trail of witnesses behind in its wake.
Now it's starting to be sunny. My timing sucks.
More than a few have reported seeing stones from theirs falling from the sky, which all but confirms our theory that the treasure is causing the phenomenon. The stones share one more peculiar commonality. It seems the pests he hunts have been all of the seedkin variety. Why he avoids beasts of flesh and blood is yet a mystery. It bears mentioning that each one of these eyewitness accounts came from people who were rescued by the Justicar, who invariably appears just as these creatures attack. In fact, the Justicar has been there to save the day in every single instance of seedkin-related mischief. Awfully suspicious if you ask me, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. Some among the Radiant hosts have suggested that the Justicar is planning this assault somehow, so he alone can reap the glory from thwarting them. I agree, and I think that this should be our next avenue of investigation.
Alright.
Many of these incidents occur near the Giant Skull grounds, so we should start a search there. If we can find one of these monstrous plants before it finds hapless prey, we may be able to shed light upon the Justicar's methods. Time is of the essence, so let's leave at once.
I agree. And meanwhile, yeah, I can put my umbrella down and not hold it up in the air while it's still nice and sunny out. But then again, I do this on the regular whenever I find myself wanting to keep the sun out of my face. I'll have an umbrella by me even if it's not raining to do exactly that. Okay, let's continue onward. Yeah, there we go. Now it's nice and sunny here in the Thavnir Island. So let's see if we can't make our way to where the Justicar may be. Hopefully Tepeke is there too. It's a long way to fly in order to get to where we need to go. So yeah, Tepeke here at the crossroads.
Any moving bushes? Slithering vines? Not here in any case. Mathia, I'll search the western path. Why don't you search east?
Sure.
If you see something, don't strike to kill. Weaken it, and then capture it with this rope. We'll learn much more from a live specimen.
Alright. And let's go find ourselves a live specimen. Yeah, can be located right at the cliffs here. Yeah, in fact, it's a mini Morbol. So, let's go and take it on and take it down. Yep, enemy is weak, use the rope. You know, one of those situations where you have to take it all the way down to 0.1%. And it's still here, so, but it says we got the quest objective completed, so yeah, there it goes. It's like, wow, it's taking its sweet time to get into my, into the phase of being captured, because when you capture an enemy that's weakened, it usually disappears off the screen immediately. Tepeke?
I see plenty of fauna roaming about, but the flora all seem to be of the rooted to the ground variety. Perhaps my hunch was correct.
Well, before we go there...
You found one! In fact, this is exactly as an eyewitness described.
Oh? And what are you giving me?
Why don't we keep it for the time being? Bring it to the Great Work, and I'll ask my acquaintance there to examine it with all haste.
Absolutely. Alright, let's work to the great work then. Alright. Who in here can help us? Hello there.
Mr. Sepeke told me what to expect. Well then, let's see the thing.
Alright, here you go. Yeah, you're just gonna put it in your pocket?
Oh, I didn't expect it to be so diminutive. If Mr. Stepeke's intuition is correct, then I expect some interesting discoveries are in store.
Well, let's see what you can find for us. So as the two of us are talking, we got a Narcosidara spinning a wheel over there on the right.
You brought me quite the fascinating specimen. Indeed, I can say for certain that this creature's growth isn't natural in the slightest.
Natural?
Biologically, it's still but a sapling, as you can tell by its size, yet it is the result of a specific alchemical mixture which is used to spur the growth of seeds and mycelium to an unnatural degree. The agents have a side effect of making the creatures more aggressive, which explains why such a small specimen would so boldly attack beings larger than itself.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yet the solution requires ingredients most rare, and the cost of procuring enough to synthesize it would be beyond the means of most.
How much money do you have?
So whoever's behind this, they are likely well heeled. As for the creatures themselves, if they were all grown artificially, perhaps that explains why most of the incidents involve small seedkin.
So what's on your mind?
Rather than wait for them to mature naturally, the Justicar must have accelerated their growth so that he could deploy huge numbers over a short span of time. In fact, his plan likely requires that they may be small weak foes in order to guarantee his victory. After all, the great Justicar can hardly be expected to bear the blemish of defeat. With these new details brought to light, it's almost certain that he's staging these attacks on the common folk. Now we have a new perspective to guide our search.
Yeah, for someone who bears a sword and shield, you are very wise.
Perhaps you should return to Yedlimad. I hear the Justicar is the talk of the village, and they doubtless have stories to share. A splendid idea. Thank you. Your findings have brought us a step closer to unmasking that villain.
Yeah, glad she could help.
Let's hurry to Yedlimad. The more accounts we have of the Justicar, the better our chances of predicting his next move.
And away she goes. Alright, back to Yedlimad. Also, hi Needhana, how are you? Yeah, still working over a hot alchemical stove. Yeah, she certainly doesn't give up even with all the fruits of labor that she's given us. Let's start speaking with Radiance. Rest assured, the Radiant host are well aware of the Justicar. Every day we receive more reports of him combating beasts in the surrounding wilderness. These encounters are never on well-traveled roads, it seems. They occur in remote regions that we scarcely patrol, or long routes that are only used by a small number of merchants and porters. We've concluded that the Justicar either has uncommon knowledge of the behavioral patterns of these creatures, or that he keeps close company with a merchant who travels those obscure paths. We'll see what we can glean from that information. Then over here, for what will undoubtedly be someone who looks up to him.
Oh, you're hungry to learn more of the Justicar. He's amazing. I was lucky enough to catch a glimpse of him on the road leading here, facing down a fearsome creature. I don't know how he did it, but he called down rocks from the sky to knock that thing flat. The Radiant host were array on patrol, so if he hadn't come to our rescue, that brute would have marched right into our homes. He shouted that he was the savior of Razadon and even waved at me.
Oh, he looked so impressive with the sun shining behind him. Jeez, if I didn't know any better. Yeah, if I didn't know any better, maybe you're crushing on him. And finally, a watchful man. Don't tell me you've come chasing that half-baked savior. The younglings might be taken in by his honeyed words, but anyone with experience can see that he's nothing but a charlatan. And I have a story to prove it. Do you now? A merchant I know took a tumble as he was transporting his goods. Not long after comes the Justiciar looking as chivalrous as you please in his shining armor. But did he offer a helping hand? No! He ran off with nary a glance backwards! What? He may go on about slaying beasts, but the real hero would never ignore someone in need, even if they were just suffering from scraped knees and a bruised ego. Well, isn't that something to think about? Well, let's go ahead and give this information to Teke. Looks like someone here is also wanting to speak with a person of interest. Another level 100 red mage, no less. Let's go and speak with the Peke.
Mathia, do you have a moment? I'm having a little trouble here.
Oh, hello there, sir.
I sought this merchant out because I was told he dealt with the alchemists in the Great Work. I thought he might know something about the Justiciar, but when I asked, well, he's been like this ever since.
Oh, why is that?
Apologies. I was so surprised that you would ask me about that madman. What connection could he possibly have with me? The fiends he fights are grown with rare alchemical materials, and we think he may be staging these encounters. Since you deal in such wares, I wondered if you might know how he came into their possession. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never spoken to that man. I very much doubt that. Perhaps I'll be more receptive to questioning from you, Mathia?
Yeah, especially since, yeah, you may have a sword, but so do I. He seems to have intimate knowledge of trade routes and alchemy. Who taught him, I wonder? Or yeah, is it you? Are you his co-conspirator? You dare accuse me? Why, how am I to know that you aren't the one in league with Vidrazan?
Virazon, you said? Who's that, I may ask?
What? Did I? No, that's my name. Sir, I think we figured you out. This is a poor performance. Yeah, you are clearly a co-conspirator. I'd be a fool to continue this charade any longer. My son Virazon is the one you know as the Justiciar. To be suddenly confronted with his litany of misdeeds, I quite lost my composure. Oh jeez. Some son you raised?
You're his father? Then do you know how he came into the possession of such rare materials and knowledge?
Aye, he stole them from me. Great. My most valuable materials and my precious maps. Yet I was the one who chose to hide that fact, and I bear the blame for the consequences.
What can you tell us about him as a person?
Yeah, where do we start? Virazon was obsessed with tales of legendary heroes, even from a young age. I paid a great deal of money to have him tutored in the art of the bow. He became quite skilled at it, in fact, but not quite as skilled as his arrogance led him to believe. Due to this and perhaps a lack of ambition, he never aspired to true greatness. Instead, he came to rely upon fanciful equipment and exotic potions rather than owning what skill he had. It pained me to see him fall into dissoluteness, but he broke no counsel. So several years ago, I gave him enough coin to support his lavish lifestyle and told him never to speak with me again. He didn't, until but recently when he darkened my doorstep once more. So you banished your son, and now he's doing this. Yeah, maybe we found out why he's become the man he is.
And that was when he stole your goods?
Aye, although I would have willingly given them if he had but asked. He was rambling almost incoherently, saying that his heroic deeds as the Justiciar had caught the eye of someone named Abtyahi, leader of the Passage of the Unbound, whoever they are. He claimed that under the guidance of his newfound allies, he had obtained a great power. Power enough to eclipse all heroes who have come before and shall come after, as he put it. It seems he gives what money he still has to these people. To think that for all of his fanciful words, he has only deigned to grasp at hollow glory, all at the expense of Razaton. There is no greater shame as a father.
Guess what we know of this shadowy group, they most likely aim to sow discontent through Mirazon's deeds. He may be so blinded by his own desire for adoration that he can't see whose hands are pulling the strings.
No kidding. You're saying that is being used. If that's true, then I can no longer remain silent, despite what shame it may bring. I see now that sharing my story might be the only way to save my son.
Indeed. I suggest you tell the Radiant Host at once. Of course, we'll be pouring our every effort into stopping him.
Yeah, hopefully before it's too late. Thank you for giving me direction. I didn't imagine our meeting would end this way. Me neither. But yeah, you just showed up out of nowhere. And we're lucky you did.
Truth be told, I'm not entirely unsympathetic towards Virazon. I basked in my father's reflected glory while having none of my own to speak of. The glory Virazon seeks is similarly false. I too shall visit the Radiant Host and have them spread word of the Justical's true nature. If the people are wise to his trickery, they will be far more likely to aid us. Then he'll soon learn that a legend built on lies is no match for true heroism.
You got that right. Yeah, you can see the look in her face at how determined she is. So we'll take our 1,048,000 experience points and 1,000 gil. You need to step up for a moment. Need to stretch out a little. Yeah, it's really hot in my apartment tonight, which isn't surprising because it was 21 Celsius on Halloween, which I think is the hottest October Halloween on record that we've ever had where I live, which is just mind-blowing. So let's go ahead and speak with Tepeke again to take on the level 96 Mage DPS quest entitled Floundering Fame. Tepeke appears pleased with the blow dealt to the Justical's credibility.
Greetings, Mathia. Virazon's father has been good as his word and has confessed the truth of his son's actions to whomever will listen. Even among the younglings, far fewer sing the Justical's praises. The tide is turning in our favor at last, and the Radiant Host are making ready to tighten the nets. Speaking of which, they had curious news to share. They've been examining the stones left behind by the Justical and noticed a pattern. They were all varieties of rock commonly found near the site of each encounter. For instance, near the Giant Skull grounds, the Justical seems to have called down a hail of what else but Giant Skull. I have my own theories about what this means, but I'd like to hear your thoughts, Mathia.
So yeah, he is using the environment to his advantage. The rocks weren't summoned, but moved. Or it's safe to say that the artifact doesn't create rocks from nothing. But yeah.
Indeed. The perch of the apex likely lifts whatever stones are nearby and brings them crashing down to earth. If our suspicions are correct, we're one step closer to unraveling its mysteries. But despite these favorable developments, the Justical's popularity remains a problem. Even with the recent blow dealt to his credibility, his most ardent art followers still idolize him. In fact, I hear he's handing letters to the youth of Razad Han through their contents are closely guarded secrets. All the more reason to investigate, don't you think? Once we get to Razad Han, if I question people around the marketplace, could you cover the city's western quarter? That's where his younger followers tend to gather. After we've collected enough information, let's meet to share our findings. See you in Razad Han again, Mathia.
I'll see you there then. Yeah, why is it so hot on Halloween? So we gotta go out in this direction. The closest we need to go to is Ruvidov Fibers. Yeah, all the people we'll speak to will be right out in the open. Beginning with a sulking youth.
the Justicar gave me that invitation himself, only for some thief to snatch it right out of my hand.
And his father is consoling him, huh?
You believe in the Justicar too? Well, I didn't have the chance to read the whole letter before it was stolen, but his gathering is the most devoted for a special audience. The bastard who stole my invitation is clearly up to no good. He even muttered something about getting revenge, but who could hate someone so noble?
Yeah, we may be giving you guys a hard dose of reality. Yeah, imagine that is coming sooner rather than later. Also, another place for me to go and do a lookout.
Yeah, I know about the letters. Me and my friends didn't get one though. The grown-ups get angry if we talk about the Justicar. But guess what? I heard Sashal talking about him over by Merid's Mahan. He had a big grin on his face too. Does that mean the Justicar isn't a bad man like the grown-ups say?
I hate to break it to you, but he still is. Yeah, shall we go ahead and run into here, run through the brook and get ourselves a lookout spot? Alright, so, yeah, I'll just let my bard out this one again. But that, I guess that just shows you how lax I've been on looking for places in the sightseeing log. Alright, let's go over this way. So, the only one who's actually in the shade, as it were, this surly youth.
Oh, the other one who's always following that Peggy around. I heard she's spreading rumors about the city's savior. I won't let her harm his reputation any more than she already has, so I have nothing to say to her lapdog.
Damn. The most useful clue points to the merchants of Shaw having some connection to Virazon. He was last seen in Miride's Mahane. Yeah, screw you, bitch. Lapdog. Do I look like a dog to you? I take exception to that statement. Yeah, there are no dog-animal hybrids yet in this game. And let's hope it stays that way. We've got not one but 2 cat races. That's enough. So over here is where Zashal is. It's true what they say. A fool and his skill are soon parted. Yeah, I heard that. Huh? Why, if it isn't one of the heroes of the final days? Hey, this isn't about that map I showed to your companion, is it? You mean Rika? You'll find it points the way to the vaults of Alizardal III exactly as described. I may have employed a few creative methods to entice my customers, but what merchant doesn't? Yeah, I'm not here about the map. You're not? But of course, why would you be? Well, what can I do for one of our vaunted heroes? Who's got his tail curled in such a way as to say, yeah, he's really mad. You're after the Justicar. Your choice of quarry is unusual to say the least. And it's raining again. But perhaps I can help you along, eh? A young man came asking for a map to open the way to Uzner. I sold him every map I had, assuming that the one that he needed was among them. You mean you don't even know it's on your own maps? I suppose he found it, as I hear these letters that were handed out contain a copy of a map. I dare say that young fellow was the Justicar himself, and that he's planning a clandestine meeting in the Uzner canals. Mind you, it appears that he has no shortage of enemies. No doubt they'll try to interfere. Yeah, why is that? And who are these people? Thankfully, Razadon isn't known for large-scale criminal organizations. Yet. But that hasn't kept the less scrupulous citizens from dirtying their hands when times are desperate. From what I hear, bandits seeking to rob trade caravans keep running into the Justicar during his fiend-filling exploits, causing their raids to end in failure. Like as not, they'll try to infiltrate his group of followers and settle the score. Uh-oh. And that's where my knowledge of the matter ends. If you're wondering where the meeting place is, all I remember is that the spot marked on the copied maps is somewhere in the Shroud of the Samga. So, does that answer your queries? I guess so. And it's a better place to start than any, so let's go. So, let's go and make our way back towards the main Aetherite. That'll be the closest spot for us. But it is effectively halfway. So, I guess it doesn't really matter which direction we're going this time around. Oh, but the person is within the bazaar. So, turns out to be Tepeke.
Those in support of the Justicar didn't seem surprised when I told them of his misdeeds, but they were still reluctant to betray him. In short, I've had no luck. What about you, Mathia?
Oh, here's what I found out.
Your investigative abilities never cease to amaze me. As for this gathering Virazana's planning, I expect there's some key scheme to pop up as flagging popularity. Even so, many of his devotees are younglings ill-equipped to make the perilous journey to the meeting place. If they've any sense, rather than attempt to travel there directly, they'll stop at settlements along the way to rest and confirm the routes. You said the map led into the Shroud of the Samga, yes? That means Palaka's Stand is the closest settlement. I hear many took refuge there during the final days, and now it's a bustling town in its own right. The arrival of more people would hardly raise eyebrows, making it the perfect place to avoid unwanted attention. While they make ready, we should head there before they leave on the final leg of their journey.
Alright. So let's hit up Palaka's Stand then. It's the only place pretty much on the island we haven't been yet. So when we arrive, still in the driving rain, let's go ahead and speak with Tepeke. Probably offer her a spot under the umbrella.
I was right, Mathia. Many of the youths are carrying pieces of parchment. Those must be the letters. Yet it seems my reputation is preceding me. Our suspected followers clearly avoid me whenever I try to approach them.
Yeah, word got out, huh?
Still, we can use this to our advantage. None of them would dare leave Palaka's Stand while those risks I might follow after. I'll keep watch over their comings and goings, but we'll make sure to leave obvious blind spots. If one of the Justicar's followers attempts to escape the village, I need you to go after them.
Alright.
Now, find a vantage point that affords a good view while keeping you hidden. Once you start pursuing our unwitting target, I won't be far behind.
Alright. So, turns out that our spot of needing to hide is actually not that far away. In fact, I do need to zoom out the camera for what's about to happen, because this did throw me off when I first attempted it. Yeah, when I was doing my testing with this quest with Corinne and Rika, I noticed that the person of interest easily was able to hide after, pretty much right after the pursuit began. So yeah, everyone has these letters. And then we have a guy over here who has no letters. And so, looks like we found someone to go after. Follow the young man from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you're noticed or fall too far behind. Yeah, so it's another one of these challenges. Time to follow the map, he says. As you see, he walks very slowly. Which means keeping a safe distance from the onset is not easy. While also trying to protect my visuals. Yeah, we gotta keep this in mind. Yeah, pretty much the only cover I can give myself is with my umbrella. Off he goes. So across the bridge, out of town. Trying to find somewhere safe in order to protect ourselves if we need to. So we run out the hill like Kate Bush. In fact, he's actually getting away from me. Oh god. Yeah, that was a bit scary. We were fortunate to get behind cover just in time. Off he goes again. Yeah, find cover wherever we can get it. And so this is our stopping point. So after we follow this person... Yeah, the only one who did not have a map at all. The portal should be nearby, and then I'll finally meet him. Hello there. Don't mind me. But you're the hero who saved us in the final days. What are you doing here? Oh, hi there, Bubba. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, it may be on your end because I'm not having that situation currently on my end. Because I haven't had any frame drops at all. Yeah. What are you doing here, sir? So you're working along that side that woman I saw in the village. I've heard rumors about what she's spreading, but I had no idea that she's enlisted your aid. The Justice Star saved me, you see. I was transporting goods for a local merchant who was too miserly to even hire a proper escort. A ferocious creature ambushed me, but my savior appeared from nowhere and saw off the beast. I owe him my life. That's why I came here, to see if there's any truth to the rumors. But now you understand that I'm in over my head. I'm going back home. Here, you can have the map. I trust you to take the measure of the Justice Star and to share the truth with us all. Yeah, thanks you very much. And yeah, no hard feelings, obviously. At least he recognizes the Warrior of Light when he sees it. Oh, and speaking of Tepeke, here she comes.
Apologies for watching from the shadows, but I was afraid my presence might have startled the lad. I was able to hear what he said though, and his gratitude toward the Justice Star seemed genuine. I dare say the others' followers feel similarly. Well, now that we have a map of our own, let's open the portal and confront Virazon.
Yeah, it looks like we came to a little hut in the middle of nowhere, so we open the door and find ourselves now in the canals of Uznair, which if you've never been here before, are obtained by using treasure maps. They're the only way to get in here, so yeah, everyone was given a treasure map. They fought off enemies and found their way inside. And as you can see, there's a lot of rocks around here. Not exactly the way you wanted to greet your friends, your followers, those who look up to you.
What a sight! Did the treasure cause this?
Well. Hey, you. Also, I don't like the fact that you're wearing armor that I would normally wear. Yeah, we're having to deal with Shadow feet all over again as far as that's concerned. Oh my, if it isn't the hero who saved Razat-Han! Nay, the world itself! I never expected someone so vaunted to attend my audience, but I am honored nonetheless! Well, while I appreciate that, unlike you, your accomplishments pale in comparison to mine.
Enough of your games, Virazon! Stop this madness at once!
After giving you such a warm welcome, these are the thanks I get. Well, 'tis true that I was once known by that name. 'Twas merely a guise I wore until I discovered my true self. So long as I am the masked hero of Rosethan, I shall not suffer any to call me Virazon. Well, too bad, we're calling you it anyway.
But that is your name, isn't it?
Yeah, we're gonna have to knock it out of you? A hero should take pride in their name, or the game is up, we've exposed your true identity, or why don't you drop the act and try being a true hero? But yeah, your true identity has been exposed already, so yeah. Twould seem that Justice Law's meager alter ego has been brought to light, but would he shrink once more into the shadows of mundane obscurity, or embark onto the next chapter of his legend? I guess that's gonna be... yeah, I guess you'll show us who you are, if only briefly. Very well, my name shall ring throughout Rosethan. Let it be known that the Justicar is Virazon, and Virazon is the Justicar.
What are you saying? You unleash purge of the Apex upon your own followers!
You know its name? Wait, I remember you. The girl from Jacques Tirol, yes? Your village's artifact is not discriminating in its wrath. Some among my followers harbor wicked intentions, and it brought sorrow onto my enemies. The true heart caught in the aftermath were merely unfortunate.
But they believed in you, even though you tricked them. What kind of hero are you?
Not very good. Also, yeah, don't make me use this. You too would oppose me? I thought that as fellow saviors we might find some common ground, yet it would seem we are destined to walk different paths. Yeah, we roused your ire now. Now faced with unknown peril, a great fervor rages within me. Yeah, now he's smiling about it. Oh, jeez. Well, that's not good. However, here is not where we shall match wits. No, a more fitting battleground is in order. We shall meet again soon. You have my word! Very well, then. Meanwhile...
Ah, shut up!
Ah! Yeah, he's still there. What, you're not gonna run away in the smoke? Not gonna run away in the dust? Well, you did now. Jeez, dude.
So, can you tell us what happened here?
Yeah, because there's a lot to talk about.
He gathered us all around and made the grand speech, claimed that he was the hero that would drive like the flood of fiends from threatening Thavnir.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
Then he spoke of his anger at the recent rumors. He told us to go forth and repair his damaged reputation so that the people would love him again. He became quite impassioned, in fact.
Maybe a little too impassioned. Yeah, you got all these ladies loving you and a few random guys. As for us two, we were here to teach him a lesson, biding our time until his back was turned. But we couldn't stomach his self-righteous drivel any longer. And so you caused the thing to go off? He acts like a god come to grace Thavnir, but most people have grown wise to his tricks, including the Radiant Host. We stepped forward and told him as much, and then demanded that he admit that he'd been putting the wool over everyone's eyes. That's when he started waving that thing about. We soon learned that the rumors of its power were true, and rocks started falling down around us. And that's when all hell broke loose, and he was like, yeah, look at the two of them in the background, and like, maybe we should have kept our mouths shut. Their mouths shut.
Even us true believers were not spared. There was nowhere to run. The Justice Order said such power cannot be fettered and that sacrifices are unavoidable. And all the while, he was laughing.
Damn.
We pleaded with him for mercy, but that just made him angrier. He flourished the object again and yet more rocks assailed us.
Means you guys can't catch a break.
It was horrible. Stones big and small raining down endlessly until you two appeared, that is.
And then even more came down. Yeah, meet your true heroes, a pair of Mikote.
Thank you for telling us what happened. I only wish we could have arrived sooner.
And so,
now, just to set things straight, it was you two that brandished your weapons first, yes?
well, I won't deny that, but we were only trying to bring the truth of his misdeeds to light. Though we might have had some personal scores to settle on top of that. Yeah, the lady in the background was like, yeah.
Before I left Palaka's stand, I asked the Radiant host there to look out for anyone returning from the wilderness.
Yeah, we'll be bringing back all of you.
I suggest you head there and seek their aid. While you're there, share with them what you just told us. And as for the pair of you, don't even think about running away or you'll have us to deal with.
Yeah, and so, I guess they'll try and drown themselves in the water here. Yeah, like we'd rather go down rather than with you. And yeah, that was very sick that I suggested that. And yeah, it's still raining. Alright, Topeke. Yeah, I'm having to keep you dry a lot.
Everyone has returned to the care of the Radiant host. As for those ruffians who meant to attack Virison, it seems that they had a history of violence for which they may soon answer. Several among Virison's followers were dealt serious wounds, but we can be grateful that none lost their lives. It's exactly as the old saying describes, the master of the apex shall be showered with good fortune, yet leave only sorrow in their wake. The part about so certainly seems true at least. We can but hope that Virison's spell over the people will be broken at last, when word of what transpired here becomes common knowledge. Let that buoy our spirits as we return to Yedlamad.
Alright. Off we go! Alright there, Topeke. Yeah, I'll have to, like I said, I'll have to keep you dry a lot.
Well, that was certainly an ordeal. Although Virison got away, we can look back upon what transpired to plan our next course of action. It appears that the treasure takes rocks from the surrounding environment and makes them rain down upon the weird surroundings. However, the power seems to be somewhat haphazard. While Virison himself wasn't struck, the borders assailed fiend and foe alike, or friend and foe alike. Ugh. Something else has been nagging me as well. The stones we saw in the canals seemed quite a bit larger than the others. I don't know what to make of it, but I will give it some thought. We still don't know exactly how he controls the Apex's abilities either. We must focus on these mysteries as we continue our investigation. As for Virison himself, he was just as his father said, wasn't he? His so-called heroism is an empty charade, like a child playing at being a hero from the storybooks. He seems motivated by a vain desire to gain the love of the people, yet he cares nothing for their well-being. He'll learn his lesson soon enough, though. None will sing his praises afterward of what happened at Uznair spreads. Even he must know this. I worry that his desperation will drive him to worse misdeeds. If the treasure is used with reckless abandon, it could cause untold harm. I must discuss this with the Radiant host. Together, we might be able to capture Virison before he attempts anything drastic. Stand by for now, Mathia. I'll be in touch the moment I have something to share.
Alright. And yeah, so the end of the quest bubble appears just right in front of my face. So we'll go ahead and take our 1,075,000 experience points and 1,000 gil.